Hello everyone. Today we will study session 13 and in this session we have the topic quantifiers. So let's read. What are quantifiers? Quantifiers are words or phrases used before a noun to indicate the amount or quantity. Quantifiers are used depending upon whether the noun is countable or uncountable. So it means that the quantifiers are those words or phrases which are used to indicate the amount or quantity of that noun, and these are used before a noun. Okay, and these can be used with countable noun as well as uncountable noun. Okay, some things can be counted. For example, a kilo of rice, numbers of houses, etc. However, qualities or values cannot be counted, just as many other things such as water, milk, gas, etc. Okay, so let's read what are countable nouns. Countable nouns have singular and plural forms. In plural, these nouns can be used with a number. That is, they can be counted, and that is why they are called countable nouns. So these countable nouns are the noun which can be counted and they can be used with a number. Okay, and they can be singular or plural. Examples are many, few, a few, a lot of, several, or none. So sentence is given. I kept some or many, a few, a very few, a number of, a lot of, or several oranges in the basket. Okay. For example, I kept some oranges in the basket. I kept many oranges in the basket. So oranges are countable nouns. So some, many, a few, a very few, a number of, a lot of, several, all these are used before the countable nouns. None of the oranges in the basket were ripe. Okay, none is also used with countable noun. So what is uncountable noun? Uncountable nouns can only be used in singular form, means they cannot be plural. Okay, these nouns can be used only in singular form and these cannot be used with a number. That is, they cannot be counted. Okay, we will give number to only those nouns which can be counted. So examples of uncountable nouns are much, little, a little, very little, bit of, a lot of, a great deal of, a large amount of, a large quantity of. Now we will read the following example to understand the difference between countable and uncountable noun. First example is, my grandfather is a farmer. Last winter I ate a lot of apples from my grandfather's orchard. So apple is countable. Here the underlined word a lot of is used with the apple, which is noun, and also it is a countable noun. So a lot of is used with the countable noun. Next is, my grandfather has some very good qualities such as honesty and sincerity. Good qualities is countable as you can count the number of good qualities. In this case, it is 2, honesty and sincerity. So, as good qualities in this sentence can be counted as there are 2 good qualities mentioned, that is honesty and sincerity. In this way, here good qualities are countable noun, so some is used with them. In this sentence, how many good qualities are mentioned? 2. First is honesty, second is sincerity. Next we have is, the whole family loves and respects my grandfather. He gets much respect from other farmers in the area too. In this sentence, the word respect is uncountable noun, so much is used before it. Okay. Next is, we need to add some, a little, a lot of sugar. Here sugar is uncountable, so words like some, a little, a lot of are used before sugar. Next is, how much sugar we add. Much is also used with the uncountable noun, so much is used before sugar. Next is adjective for countable and uncountable nouns, much and many. So here we will learn the difference between the various adjectives which are the used before countable and uncountable nouns. So first we have is much and many. We use much with uncountable noun. Keep in mind that much is used with uncountable noun. noun. Like in previous sentence, we studied how much sugar we add. Sugar is uncountable, so much is used here. Example, how much more time is left for the show to get over. She has so much work to complete before the weekend. Here, the time or work is uncounted, so much is used before these words. Many is used with countable nouns. Much is used with uncountable noun. On the other hand, many is used with countable nouns. Example, how many cloths will fill this suitcase? So number of cloths that can be filled in the suitcase are countable. So many is used before cloths. There are many children in the park. A lot of, lots of. Okay, so many is again used with the children, and children is here countable noun. Next we have is a lot of and lots of. We studied the difference between much and many. Now we will study the difference between a lot of and lots of. A lot of is used with countable noun. Example, there is a lot of money in the bank. So a lot of is used with nouns which can be counted. Example is given that there is a lot of money in the bank, whereas lots of is used with uncountable noun. Okay, let's repeat. A lot of is used with countable noun, whereas lots of is used with uncountable noun. Example is, I want to drink lots of water. Here the amount of water is uncounted, so lots of is used before the word water. There are lots of flies in the room. The number of flies in the room is uncountable, so lots of is used before flies. Next is little, quite a little, few, and quite a few. So the difference between these are that little, quite a little, modify only, uncountable noun. So among all these four words, the two which are little and quite a little are used before uncountable noun, whereas remaining two are used with countable noun. Let's see the example of uncountable noun using little. There is little room for you in the bus, meaning hardly any space. Here in the sentence, the word little room means that hardly there is any extra space. So there is little room for you in the bus. So the proper space means the amount of space is uncountable here. So the little is used with the room here. There is quite a little space left for you to fit in, meaning plenty of space. Here quite a little space means plenty of space. Okay. Few and quite a few are used with countable nouns. So these two words, few and quite a few, are used before countable nouns. Let's see the example. There are few coins in her piggy bank. So the number of coins in the piggy bank are countable. So a few is used before piggy bank. It means very less. There are quite a few coins in her piggy bank. It means many. A few means less. Quite a few means more. Okay. So these are countable. So few and quite a few are used before countable nouns. Next is a little bit of or quite a bit. A little bit of or quite a bit of. And both these phrases are used with uncountable noun. Example is, we mix a little of bit yellow with red to make orange. Here meaning less. Bit of yellow means less here. Okay. Next is fewer or less. Fewer is used with countable noun. Example is, fewer people can be seen traveling in buses. Okay, so the number of people are less in the buses, so they can be countable. So fewer is used before people in this sentence. Okay, next is drink fewer glass of alcohol. Less, whereas less is used with uncountable noun. Okay, fewer glass of alcohol means less, so it can be counted, whereas less is used with uncountable noun. There is less water in this bottle. So the quantity of water in the bottle is uncounted here. So word less is used, not fewer. Okay. Next example is, one should take less sugar. Less sugar means the quantity that should be taken is not defined. So it is uncounted here. So one should take less. Less is used before sugar here. However, there is an exception to this rule when less is used in terms like no less than or less. It is used with countable noun. So this is the exception to this rule, that is fewer and less. Whenever there is the term like no less than or less in the sentence, it will be used with countable noun. So example is, his lesson had no less than 10 red marks on it. So here 10 red marks are countable na. No less than word is used before this. 10 red marks. State your reason in 25 words or less. So next example is, state your reason in 25 words or less. So the 25 words are countable. So with it or less is used. Also, we use less than for a countable noun that denotes a measure of time, amount, or distance. It is saying that we also use less than, the word less than, for the countable noun which denotes the measure of time, amount, or distance. For example, less than 3 months, less than 50 kilometers, less than rupees 100. Enough, plenty of, some, any, and no are used with both countable and uncountable nouns. So these are the words which can be used with both the nouns. What are they? Enough, plenty of, some, any, and no. Let's read. There is enough content in the book. There are enough pages in the notebook. There is plenty of food in the kitchen. There are plenty of trees in the orchard. We have some money kept at home. We have some bottles in the fridge. Are there any good shoes in the shop? Is there any water in the well? So the first sentence using the every word is countable, whereas second sentence is uncountable. Okay, so this is the assessment which you have to do yourself according to the topic we studied above this. Okay, next is session 14, inviting someone. We will do this in next class. Thank you. Have a nice day.